What's going on? I'm Dr. Colt. Welcome to the channel. In my last video, I spent some time sharing with you guys the importance of your self-talk, the importance of controlling the conversation in your head and your internal dialogue, because the way you talk to yourself, the internal dialogue that you allow yourself to have or continue with in your life, determines not only the way you think, but what you end up believing. It determines the way you perceive reality, and it ultimately determines how you act. So that means that if you are walking around every day, not taking control of your thinking, not controlling your inner dialogue, not having the conversations with yourself that you need to have, or telling yourself the right things, you're going to perform in a low quality fashion. Your actions are going to match your thoughts, which are generally bad. So you need to take ownership of that conversation. It's imperative that you are in charge of your thoughts and you are controlling that conversation. After I made the video, I was thinking some more about self-talk and how important it was, and how so many people are never given any instruction as to how to take control of their thinking, or what it might even look like, or how you even recognize if your thinking is bad. And I realized I had a lot of conversations with people who had asked me that exact question. I'd tell them about self-talk and things like that, and they'd be like, yeah, that's great, but how do I know if I need to change my self-talk? How do I prevent myself from slipping into these spirals of negative, destructive, irrational thinking and digging myself a hole? I don't want to do that. How do I stop myself from even getting there? Good questions, important questions, because if you don't know the answers to those things, you probably can't take control of your thinking. You have to start at the beginning. You have to know if your self-talk needs work or not. You have to know what types of situations, what type of people, circumstances are going to send you into those negative spirals, into those destructive, irrational thought patterns. So I wanted to give you a little bonus tool, a little exercise you can do. I believe the number one exercise for helping people understand their self-talk and take steps towards improving it. And it's an exercise that can be done in one day. It's a fun exercise too. I did it for my first time in graduate school when I was learning these things, and I've given it to a bunch of people and they all love it. It'll teach you a lot about yourself. The exercise is called the Paperclip Exercise. So you can see down here, I have in this little container, a bunch of paper clips, right? So in real life, these two containers, I know they're not the same, but that doesn't matter. These two containers represent your pockets. So the way you do the paperclip exercise is you wake up in the morning, do this tomorrow, go out and buy some paper clips tonight, wake up tomorrow morning, take a handful of them, put them in your left pocket, right? So this is my left side. So put a handful of paper clips in your left pocket. The moment you put those in your pocket, the exercise starts, and then all you do to complete this exercise, mostly all you do to complete this exercise, is throughout the day, every time you have a thought that is negative, irrational, destructive, overgeneralized, right? Saying this always happens to me, I can never find success, I always get screwed over, nobody else does. Catastrophize, you turn something into a bigger moment than it is. Anything that's not helpful or productive to you and your growth, you take one paperclip out of your left pocket, right here, one paperclip, and you move it to your right pocket. So you do that all day, throughout your whole day. Every time you have one of those negative, destructive thoughts, take a paperclip out and move it over in the right pocket, all throughout the day. And then what you do at the end of the day is you count how many paperclips you moved over. Now there's no threshold, there's no number you should be aiming for. Everybody's going to be different. I've had some people say they moved 4 paper clips, and I've had some people say they moved 45. Everybody's different. We all have different thinking patterns, but be honest with yourself. Don't try to have a low score. Don't cheat this thing. Do it the right way. And if you really want to get the most out of it, what you should do is take note throughout the day of the locations, the types of people you're around, the situations you're in. Take note of those types of things that forced you to move a paperclip over. Because that's where the real growth is. If you can go, okay, I look back throughout my day, being around people that gossip, had to move paper clips. Being in environments where I had little control, move a paperclip. Like for me, traffic is a huge paperclip mover for me. I hate being stuck in traffic. My thoughts they turn into garbage. So take note of these situations, the people you're around, what happens throughout your day, and then look back and go, okay, if these are the situations or the types of people that trip me up, number one, can I avoid them? If yes, avoid them. If not, how can I change my thinking in those scenarios around those people to be more productive, more rational, and to help me grow all the time, instead of just getting into those death spirals? And then you practice it. Make a point to do it. Know when you leave your house, okay, I'm driving today, I'm going to be in traffic, It's going to make me angry. I'm going to want to spiral up top. Let's not let that happen. Let's control the controllables, stay in the moment, find something to enjoy in the car. Start taking ownership of that thinking. All right, so this is what I got for you. Do the paperclip exercise. If you want to learn something about yourself, you want to improve your thinking and your self-talk, ultimately your performance, become a more productive human being, a more understanding human being, do it. Go buy some paperclips. It's going to cost you a couple bucks. Put a handful of them in your pocket. Move them over throughout the day. Take note of it. See where you're at. You're on your way to doing great things, to upgrading that thinking, upgrading your mindset, and eventually upgrading your performance. All right? That's it. Go do it.